Hello, welcome to day one of foot exercises that are mostly seated, some standing. Both of these exercises are done for the duration of 30 seconds each. So for me, I just like a plain old clock with a second hand. You can get a stopwatch or whatever you want. For me, that's easier, so I'm just going to set it here so I can kind of keep an eye on it for you. But at any rate, day one, this should take about 9 minutes to complete. Here we go. Start by straightening your legs out in front of you. Oh, you need a sturdy chair, by the way. It doesn't have to swivel. This is just my office, so it swivels. Legs straight out in front of you and rotate your feet in circles for 30 seconds. One direction. Try to keep your knees straight as you can. Keep the movement mostly from the ankle. Not mostly, only from the ankle as much as possible. Ankles and toes. So that's 30 seconds one way. Now, you guessed it, 30 seconds the other way. And that's good. Give yourself a little rest. Next one, all we do, so easy. Stick your legs out again and just wiggle your toes. No rhyme or reason. Just try to keep it only to your toes. Fast as you can. Back and forth for 30 seconds. Our toes often don't get enough movement in the joints individually. So this helps loosen them up, strengthen them. All right, 30 seconds, that's it. Now, sit forward on your chair. Okay, feet flat, lift your toes up and tap them. So I'm going to turn a little bit to the side so you can see. Like this. And then we just start tapping for 30 seconds. And this doesn't look like much, but you can start to feel it in your shin muscles very quickly. You can go faster or slower, whatever you need. Almost done. 30 seconds. There we go. Oof. Now rest a minute. Bring your feet in a little bit more because we're going to do heel taps. So, same thing, 30 seconds. You can do as fast as slow as you want. Just keep moving. 5 more seconds. And that's that. Now, the next one we call towel scrunches. You actually don't need anything. If you have a piece of fabric, a pair of shorts, put it on the floor. All you're doing is just taking your toes and scrunching the fabric for 30 seconds. The action is that of scrunching the fabric towards you, getting it under your foot. However, if you don't have a slidey floor or a handy towel or a piece of fabric around, you can also just do the motion. where you're at, which is keeping the heel on the floor and kind of rolling your foot through like you're scrunching up fabric. And that's 30 seconds on that foot. And now we're going to do 30 seconds on this foot. Personally, I skip the fabric. It's the motion. But it can be somewhat challenging to do the fabric. At first I couldn't move it at all with my toes. Now I can a little bit. You know, it's all up to your personal preference. It's just getting the movement in though. And that's about 30 seconds there. Now, this one we stand up for. So stand with your feet slightly wider than hip width. And kind of scrunch up your toes a little bit and lift up your arches. Now, I have tremendously flat feet. I've always had very flat feet from birth. So it's not going to look like much on me, but I am in fact lifting up my arch. So slightly wider than hip, scrunch up the feet, lift up the arch, and then just kind of bend from side to side for 15 counts. But keeping the arches lifted. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 15. Oof. Stretch out your feet a little bit from there. Now, let's turn this way. We're doing 2 different calf stretches. So, stand feet hip width apart, put one leg back, keep your back leg straight, heel to the floor, bend your front knee ever so slightly, and just hold it for 30 seconds. You can keep your hands, you're keeping your body straight, hands on hips, or you can hold on to a chair or table or wall or whatever you need for balance, just to hold that position like I just didn't. But now we'll get back into it. All right, for 30 seconds coming up. So 30, step forward, and now we're going to do the back one for 30 seconds. I mean, the goal is to get it to do it without hanging on to anything for balance. But it took me a long time. I always had to hang on. Because of my flat feet, it makes it extra hard to balance. And that's 30 seconds. Okay, and then the final exercise, same. Put your foot back. It's kind of the same thing. The only difference is this time we bend that backward leg a little bit, bringing the heel up from the ground. So bend both knees ever so slightly and hold the pose for 30 seconds. for as long as you can. And if you need to take a break, you can just rock back and then move into it again. And keep at it. Sooner or later, you'll get back to the 30 seconds. And there we go. Heel off floor, both knees bent. Five, four, three, two, one. And that's it. Now you can see my face again. Congratulations, you just finished day 1.